Hi, welcome again. Now we are actually getting into the email structure. First, let's see why do we even need to understand what email structure is. So until we not know what is the structure of anything, we will not be able to work on it. It is same like doctor. It is very important for a doctor to understand the structure of human body and then only he works on it. And eventually he becomes efficient enough to do operations as well. Now, we will do the same thing. We will understand the structure of an email and become smart at it. The agenda of this session is to understand the three parts of the email structure, and we will also look at the how part and how to become expert in demonstrating the best corporate email etiquette in these three parts. Also, we will look at some of the basic rules and models which will help us to become more efficient. So let's start. When it comes to email structure, it is divided into three parts: header, body, footer, or sign off. Header basically has email address to send to, and subject line that tells the brief of the email, and the last is the attachment. So, if we have to say what is the purpose of the header, so basically it contains information about who the email should be sent. Without filling this, email will not allow us to proceed and send the email. The second structure of the email is body. It is the another most important part of the email structure because it contains the content. So if we have to say what body contains, it contains greeting and content. So it carries the message which needs to be conveyed to the recipient. Hence it is a important part. Footer, which is the last part of the structure, it is also known as sign off. It basically has closing and the signature as its part. It has name of the sender, regards or thank you, and other details like phone number and address in it. Let's now look at the header. As we said, it consists of email address, subject, and attachment. And now we will look at what is that we need to learn in this to perform the best email writing etiquette. So here is an activity for you. This is match the following. Now I will give you some time to match these four options which are from, to, CC, PCC with the other available options. Your time starts now. All right. So I think your time is up, and I guess you already have got the answers as well. Let's check our answers, but before that, let me tell you where you will see these four options. Okay, so when you open an email, on the top of the email, you will see these four options. It is very common, but most of the time, BCC is hidden. So from going to options on the top menu bar, you can make it visible to you as well. So let's check ourselves. Let's look at what from matches with. Okay, it says email of the sender. So if you are sending the email, ideally your email will automatically appear here. To. Alright, so two is for people you are directly addressing. So, in case you want some information or you want to inform someone and you are asking some details and you are keeping one person, okay? So, this person's email will ideally go into two because you want some action or some response or at least him to view the information that you have shared. So he is the recipient. CC. CC is for people you are indirectly addressing. CC means the full form of CC is carbon copy. You keep email IDs of people to whom you just want to keep them in loop. For example, I have completed a task and I want to send it to my manager in 2 because I wanted to inform him. However, I will keep my department head also in CC so that he gets to know what's happening in the department. Now, let's see BCC. It is obvious, the answer is very obvious. However, the full form is blind carbon copy. When you don't want people in 2 and CC to know that you are sending email to another person, in that case you use this option. It will not be visible to people in 2 and CC. So for that means if you are sending someone this email, an email mentioning his email ID in BCC, then in that case the people who are in CC and 2 will not get to know. And the most important thing is this option should not be or must not be or avoided in the office, because in a corporate environment we need to maintain transparency. So we need to avoid this. And blind carbon copy can be only used on emails like where some corporate announcement is happening. For example, there are some policy change that has happened, some IGP which is getting rolled out, and let's say someone has joined at a very higher level, or some revenue details. In that case, only BCC is used by certain authorized person of the organization. So we as an individual need to avoid BCC, blind carbon copy, until we are not the authorized person. Let's quickly summarize the last slide. 2 is for the recipients of the email you are directly addressing. Either you are informing them something or you want something from them. And CC is for people, that is, carbon copy is for people whom you will keep in the loop. You just want to inform them, and they are the FYIers, for your information types people, and that is when we will use carbon copy. Lastly, blind carbon copy is for undisclosed recipients, and we need to avoid this option in our official emails. Now let's move to subject. You can see subject on the top of the email structure. It is just under below 2 CC and BCC. This area allows you to write free text. It is basically like the subject that we used to have in our applications of old days, but in shorter form. Let us see how we need to write our subject. Okay, as it is title of an email, it needs to be very specific and relevant, like a movie's name. When a director makes a movie, it gives a very relevant name, so we have to make sure that the name is also very short. So as I said, subject line should not be long and confusing, so that means it needs to be short and clear and concise. It needs to be relevant, and it should match or show relevance with the subject. So whatever you are writing in your email body, it should talk the same thing. The same idea should be there in the subject line. When you are replying or you are forwarding any email, there are two things which come in the subject line: FW colon and RE colon. So these are the two words which comes when you reply and forward. At times Outlook gives you multiple RE and FW. Why? Because that email might have forwarded and then again replied to many times, hence RE and FW comes. So what do you need to do is you need to be very careful about these two words, RE and FW. If it is if you have forwarded email multiple times, you will see FW, FW, FW. Keep the last one. So if you need to forward the email again, let FW be there. and delete the other previous FWs and REs there. So try doing it on your Outlook. You will understand what I am talking, and I will show you as well in the later part of the email. Also, Outlook will show a pop up in case you are sending any email without subject. So, you need to make sure that subject has to be written there whenever it is a formal email. But most of the time, what happens, we tend to forget putting subject lines, and this is very unprofessional. So, look at this email. In 2, I have mentioned the email ID of the person to whom I want to inform the details. In CC, I have mentioned the email of the person I just want to keep posted or keep in loop. BCC, I have kept blank as I want to be transparent as it is an official email. Look at the subject line. It is simple and relevant. Name of the attachment is same as the details mentioned in the email body, the content. I have also added a video for you in which you will see how to add an attachment, how to send an email with high priority, and how to send an email with follow-ups. Hope you liked the session. We looked at the content which has two parts, greeting and content itself. Now, we know how to write a greeting and how to answer all W's while we are replying to someone. We also learned how important it is to follow 5 C's too. Let's move to the next session on footer. Happy learning till then.